You know, in primary school, where you get to play, make them clay pots, and for me, it was a bit difficult for myself just because I had one working arm, and every time I messed up, it was something to do with my affected arm, and eventually I got it going and I made one. But if we're being real, it wasn't really that good. I wish I had a photo to show you, but I don't. Creating art while having hemiplegia is like having half the palette and trying to make a masterpiece. But despite the limitations, every stroke, every texture, every colour means something. Those with hemiplegia find innovative ways to do stuff like, shall I say, opening a can, which you need both hands to actually hold it and then actually flick it open, having to do shoelaces. Maybe someone ties it a different way. Like you see in the Paralympics how fast people swim with limitations. I bet most people can't swim as fast as some other people. Like my mate, he said to me, even though he was a good swimmer, he competed. He would struggle competing against them. But how to help using art, even if you draw, paint with your affected side, if you do that every day for the next year, you'll completely transform. You'll have fine motor skills, you'll have, or even music. Like I produce, yes, you don't need your affected side, but I do DJ as well, and you do need both hands for that. Whether it's looping a song and starting a song, you need both hands because you can't just use one hand for it. Me DJing, I do see a difference in me using fine motor skills just to actually press the button the same time I'd press the play button, or vice versa. If you like to dance is actual dance like street dancing, ballet, or anything of the sort like that, you will be strengthening your weaker side. Or even gymnastics. Gymnastics is a good way to strengthen your hand or leg. I did gymnastics in PE for GCSE, and yes, you do a lot of flips and that, but it is very difficult because you have to create a routine. You have to create a routine on the floor and a routine on a trampoline, a long trampoline, and yeah, it was very difficult for me, but I got there in the end. Another thing is journaling. Journaling, basically, get your brain on the paper, and if you're having any problems or doubts, or just put it on a piece of paper and just read it a week later or something. Or you can write down it in a journal every day. You will be able to reflect. Let's say you start at the 1st of January, for example. By the end of the year, you can flick back through your things, flick back through your journal, see how far you've came. Let's say you have a journal for your affected side, and you journal every day, like what you did on that day and what you could improve on. By the end of the year, you will be able to get your hand better. You will get your hand better by the end of the year. Another thing is crafts. So knitting, embroidery, origami is a great way to improve your motor skills and refine them, just because you've got to do it over and over again. Origami you don't, but especially knitting and embroidery, you've got to do the same thing over and over again, and by the end of it you will be able to. I know instruments, all of this can be daunting, but you can do it. No one's going to laugh at you, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, so you don't have to go outside and do it. But at the start you have to adapt to your strengths, and then improve on doing it, improve on working towards that normality. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.